What's up, y'all? Bobby King here. You know what it is, man. Black Reality Check Show. This week we're gonna talk about something real serious, you know what I'm saying? About, getting over deaths of your friends and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Growing up watching your friends get killed, how to deal with that, moving on. Before I even, start this off, I'm gonna say that a lot of the things I'm gonna say is my opinion, you know what I'm saying, how I feel about what I went through, and it's how I chose to deal with what I went through. I'm just suggesting, you know what I'm saying, and just saying how I deal with it. I'm not saying do what I do. I'm not saying, don't talk to somebody about it. I'm not saying, don't deal with it in the way that you feel like you need to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say one thing, though, don't do is don't ever quit. Don't ever give up. I'm going to say that before I start that off. Before I even start this off, everything that I talk about, I promise you is 100% true. You know what I'm saying? It's what I went through in my life. You know what I'm saying? The effects of it, you know what I'm saying, of, what it did to me mentally, spiritually, everything. And, how I chose to move on from it, how I'm moving on from it, and how I'm still dealing with every day. Basically, everything I can explain to y'all in a nutshell about dealing with depression of, growing up, at a young age, even all the way up to now. Because even, today, I still lose, friends to murder and homicide. You know what I'm saying? To this very day. And I'm not even in the hood no more. I'm far from the hood, but I'm still well connected to the hood. I'm 10 hours away from the state where I live at, and I still, get those same phone calls, and I still drop those same tears that I dropped all those years ago when I first got into the street shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take it back for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I jumped off the street, off the porch, everybody else, man, at the age of, 15, 16, by 16 I was gone out of the house, man. But I'm not trying to, take it to a long story because I'm gonna, get to a lot of the most powerful points, man. My first homie that I lost, I was 12 years old, you know what I'm saying? Was a guy that had the same name as me. His name was Rob, you know what I mean? I was young, I met Rob because my father used to work, late at night. He used to stay, next door to us. I really believed now as a grown man, my father probably was buying weed from the dude. That's how he got, my father always seemed to find himself around dudes, that, hood dudes, and I put it two and two together, so you know what it is. So eventually, man, my father started letting me hang over that joint. Had to hang over his house, and that's the first time I heard the NWA song, "The World's Biggest Dick." Excuse my language, that's why this ain't for the kids. So, me and Rob got real tight, man. He was like the first guy I ever looked up to as a big brother, man. Real talk. And I just remember somebody killed him. And I remember it was over a dice game, and, it had something to do with dice game. I don't remember too much, but that was my first time, losing a homie. And he was an older dude, he was a grown dude. So, that was kind of, he taught me a lot of stuff. Like, I remember one thing he taught me is, don't put your dick in everything you see. I remember he's the one that taught me that at 12 years old. He taught me that. And this is why the emotions be running so high in us men and why we do some of the things we do. You remember who taught you these things. You remember who you look up to as a brother. You remember who you look up to as a father, and your actual father, your actual brothers, and you see them get killed, and you just go into, a rage, man. You know what I'm saying? And, it's really, I tell a lot of people, man, a lot of murders, man, happen over love, man. Believe it or not, man. It's crazy to, how to, try to, put that, but, a lot of shit, because, what retaliation murders. Let's say that, you know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases, man, as we know, man, a lot of people that got killed by somebody they know. That's been proven, you know what I'm saying? So, You know, growing up, you know, man, when I really got to the streets, man, you know, I started losing people left and right, you know. Um, then I got involved in neighborhood beefs. You know, that was my thing, and you know, being a shooter and shit, that was my thing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it was like, I ain't gonna lie. One time I kind of fiend to be the top shooter. You know what I'm saying? So I know how these youngins be thinking for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember it clear as yesterday. I remember like that presence. I mean, you know how it feels to be 16 years old and the older dudes want you around, hanging around with them because they know you gonna pull the trigger, something jump over, or they know you gonna knock a nigga out or something jump over. You know what I'm saying? That's you know you get that power that you know people fearing you and shit, and the women all on you, and you got older dudes and they want you around, and you walking with them. You know what I'm saying? And they got the money and things like that. So. I know, how it, where it comes from, man. But man's life breeds so many different avenues of beef and so many different avenues of bullets flying towards you, man. Believe it or not, whether it's over, rest in peace, Trouble, man, over the situation like Trouble had, or with some random stuff like that, or with Takeoff, man, or some plotting shit. You know what I'm saying? And, people get backdoored, man. This is a grimy life, bro. And I always tell people that the thing that hurt me the most was a lot of the people that I lost, man. It wasn't just, some of the murders. It was the reasons behind the murders, the people that did it. Because in some cases, it might have been, somebody that was a loved one to them that did it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that broke my heart. It wasn't the murders that just broke my heart. It was the reasons behind them, or who did them, or both. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, that alone to make you go crazy. That alone to make you snap out. Or it's like you get to a point to where it's you trapped because it might be somebody y'all both have love for, or in your family, so you don't know what to do. Or in my case, you get to the point where you done change your life and you got kids and you trying to go the right way. You just came home from doing the fed bid, and you trying to chill out, but you caught in your emotions because all your people around you dying. You know what I'm saying? And the only one that's really going to handle it right is you. You know how, because you know what you're doing. They don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's a tight situation to be in. You know what I'm saying? So, and I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people say, kids slow you down and things like that, man. But I ain't gonna lie, in most cases, man, I mean, I don't know about other dudes. I'm just gonna speak on me. You know what I'm saying? Kids didn't slow me down, man. Kids not slowing me down, bro. When I had my kids, I still had that same mentality, that same attitude, still doing the same things, you know what I'm saying? Just being reckless, man. Still being reckless, man. It took. I just started calming down, man. Why I don't talk to a counselor? Why I don't talk to a psychiatrist? This is a serious question that people have asked me so many times. Even a psychiatrist asked me why I don't talk to a psychiatrist. When I told them, psychiatrists, I spoke to, one briefly one time, and I even told them all the, not even all the, murders and situations and shit that I experienced and stuff like that. And, they was like, damn, you really, and I'm like, yeah, this is real. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing I'm making up, nothing. This is what I've been through in my life. You know what I'm saying? But my reason for not doing it, and this is why I started in the beginning of the video saying that, you take your own advice, don't take my advice. This is what I use. You know what I'm saying? It's because, man, I understand y'all got degrees and all that stuff, but let me tell you something, man. I personally do not go to psychiatrists and do not seek counseling and none of that stuff, no help, because they have not walked my shoes, man. And I need you to understand what I mean when I say this, man. They ain't been in them streets. They ain't been there. They don't know nothing about that. I don't care how long. I don't care if you had a degree, man. I get asked this question by the people that matter in my life the most. And I'm telling you now that this is what the answer is. They have not walked my shoes, man. You couldn't have even have a degree, because I can't get no degrees. My record is so stained, man. I'm surprised I can even walk in some buildings without getting arrested. That's how much shit I got on my record. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still able, and I've been living the life as a good guy for a very long time now. But that's the reason why I don't go get no help from no psychiatrist, man. The biggest question before I end this video, man, is how I move on from all this, man. Rest in peace to some of the guys, man. You know, it's like this, man, and it's clean cut, man. I mean, it's not rest in peace to take off, you know, that situation, because a lot of people said the exact thing that it is that I'm about to say, you know, what it is, what the remedy is to get out of this life and to move on and to heal from you growing up with multiple friends being murdered, bro. And it's plain cut. But the reason why it don't ever work for y'all, because y'all don't ever use the medicine correctly. You use it halfway and then you go back. What it is, bro, you got to completely cut that life out, bro. I mean it, man. You can't go back to the hoods. You can't be in them hood spots. You can't be seen. You can't be nowhere. I moved way the fuck away. Way away. 10 hours away from where I'm from. You got to move. You got to get from around them elements. Stop answering that phone. Yeah, I still keep my, you know, my ear. I still got family out there. So I got to keep my ear to the street in some way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't indulge. I don't, you know, entertain. I don't throw my 2 cents in nothing, involved in the streets no more and stuff, unless it's some knowledge shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I completely cut my ties with that. I don't know none of my shooters. I don't know them at all anymore. I don't need them. I'm my own shooter. If it comes to it, I can defend myself. I don't need an army. So that's what you got to do, bro. You got to cut it off, man. And the biggest thing, you got to find something to believe in and focus on. Excuse me, the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is the second biggest thing I'm talking about right now. You got to find something to believe in and find something to focus on. Find something that take up your time so you don't be around that hood stuff, and discipline yourself to stay around that and not go back to that. Because the minute you look, man, I got a man that killed just going to visit his hood one time, man. He got killed by a stray bullet, bro. I'm telling you, man, stay out of it. You got to be really dedicated to staying out of it. And the most biggest thing is, bro, and I really mean this, bro, put your life in the hands of God, bro. I'm telling you, man. Put your all in the hands of God, man. That's what he mean by surrender. You got to surrender your ways and surrender your life, man. Man, this is Big Bobby King, the Black Reality Check Show, man. Peace and blessings to everybody. Y'all take care, man. Love one another. That shit ended real good.